we all remember what form this is in, right? First of all, we know it's a linear equation because it's x to the first power, right? X to the first. So we know it's a linear or a line, and it's equation, so it's a linear equation. This, if you remember, is in the form of mx, y equals mx plus b, where m is what? That's right, the slope. Now, the slope, if you remember, is rise over run, or up or down, over left or right, all depending on the sign, right? And where b is the y-intercept. And what does that mean? Well, that means that that's where it crosses the y-axis. It also means that my x value is going to be 0, and my y-intercept, like this, would be 3. That is my y-intercept. Okay, so let's figure this out. So if I were to make it, I'm going to try to make a graph here. See how neat I can make this. There's my y-axis. Here's my x-axis. Okay. Let's say I'm going to scale this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully I won't need more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And I'm going to go ahead and graph this line, okay? Now, for this particular problem, my y-intercept is +3, okay? +3. So that's where it crosses my y-axis, right? 1, 2, 3. There's +3. There's my y-axis. That's where it crosses it. My slope is -1/2. Now I can put that negative sign with the 1, or I can put that negative sign with 2. Doesn't matter. Usually what dictates this is where this point is on my graph. Sometimes it's at the top of my graph and I only have one way to go. But this one I'm going to have both ways. It's not going to matter. All right, so I'm going to go, I don't know, I'll use this one. -1/2. Because that's a negative sign with my 1, I'm going to go down 1 from this point, and to the right 2, because that's a +2. So down 1, to the right 2. I have my 2 points. I can draw my line because it only takes 2 points to draw a line. Now, try to use a straight edge. I've been drawing lines for 50 years and I still can't draw a straight one. Okay? Well, there's my line. I graphed it. Now, if you go into Delta Math here, and you've been watching the videos, and you click on that video, you get that wonderful guy from, I think it's Khan Academy, right? And he gets these points by using an algebraic method, okay? So what he does is, so this is probably the method that you learn from 7th grade on. That's just the normal method that most teachers teach. But Delta Math uses the algebraic method. Okay, so I have my x and my y. I have my equation y equals -1/2 x plus 3. And what he does is, well, he uses the y-intercept. Here's my y-intercept. I know that the x value is 0, right? So I know that the x value is 0 and the y value is 3 for the y-intercept. Then he goes and he picks another number. Okay. Usually he'll pick 0, or the next easy one is 1, and he plugs it in for x. Now this is the algebraic, and some of your teachers might have taught you this way back when. I don't know. I have -1/2, and they're going to substitute in that 1 for x plus 3. Then they solve all this and figure out what y is. Okay, -1/2 times 1 is -1/2 plus 3. Now 3 you're going to have to change to halves. So this is 6/2, really. So this is -1/2 plus 6/2, and I get 5/2, or 2.5, right? Okay. And then he goes and he plots it in there. So this is 2.5. So this is 1 and 2.5. And he got these 2 points and he drew the straight line. Now, that's a whole lot harder, isn't it? It's harder, it's confusing, a lot of ways to make mistakes, right? You don't want to do it that way. You want to do it, that's why teachers teach this from 7th grade on, okay? Can you do it this way? Well, sure. But it's easier to do it off of the y equals mx plus b4. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do this on Delta Math so that you know how to do it yourself. So, and this may even be one of your problems. I don't know. So I need to plot 2 points. I need to plot, well, I know that 0, that 0, 3, the y-intercept. So 0, 3, that's where it crosses my y-axis. So there's my first point. And then I use the slope -1/2. So I'm going to go down 1 over 2, put my point there, and there's my line. Then I'm going to go ahead and submit the answer. Do you want to submit it? Yes, I do. And that's how you answer those questions. And speaking of questions, does anybody have any questions? So that's how you do graphs on Delta Math. Are we good? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. I'm done with all you guys. Stay warm. Have a nice weekend.